Hello there, it's Simone. I'm so glad you're here with me today for a junk journal session. I had a spout of, do you say that even? A bout of creativity in several weeks ago where I was creating for a whole afternoon and I just filmed along as I made pages. So some of these might be cut a bit weirdly because sometimes I create very organically, some here and there, and so I try to split the videos up into digestible chunks and want to share those with you in the next weeks or months or so. I personally don't think it matters how timely I get those junk journal videos up because if I made this video in April or in July, it doesn't really matter because the creative process would be the same. Well, yeah, yes, basically yes. So, this is a junk journal that I made myself. I would call this an easy junk journal, meaning that it doesn't have many pockets, it doesn't have stitching, there's not a lot of highly challenging material in this junk journal. It is just several pieces of paper, roughly the same size, bound together with stitch binding into a notebook that has roughly A5 size. Well, the outside probably has A5 size, but the inside pages are different sizes. And that's why I call it easy. If you look at many of the very elaborate junk journals, then this doesn't even come close to what other people make and call junk journal. But it's definitely junk because it's paper that other people would probably discard. For me, it's leftover pages that have a lot of potential to become something amazing. And in this journal, they sure do. So when I started working in this journal, I had a very hard time. I was working chronologically from the beginning, using the next page for each entry or creating as I went, but going from front to back. And I really struggled when I realized that since this is a junk journal and it doesn't really matter where each of these entries are. If it matters to me when I wrote something or when something happened, I can use a date stamp. I don't even have to use the date stamp. I can just add the date with my writing. I can date these entries in one way or another, and then the date is visible. It doesn't necessarily need to follow a specific chronological order. When I realized that, it became much easier. I would just look at what I had, what ephemera I had, what junk I had that I wanted to add into this journal, and then chose the page accordingly. This entry was started maybe 2 weeks after my 45th birthday in February. And I never knew what else I wanted to add on here. And so I didn't do anything with it until the time was right. And somebody commented on one of my videos, actually quoting me, which I didn't know, or I didn't realize at the time how important that sliver that I said would be for me in my thinking. And what I said was, it wasn't time yet. Yeah, it just wasn't time for this journal spread to be made yet. And when it was the time, it came together quite easily. Well, I think I struggled a bit with the placement of the happy birthday, but considering how long it has taken before, this was quite easy. So I added this 45 medallion thingy onto that page because the pen from the other side had bled through and I didn't like that. And so since this is completely junky, I can just cover up what is on the other side by making something whimsical. And so I just made this 45. I drew a circle around it and added some dots and things and cut it out and glued it in, and it worked. So now I decided that I wanted to add the happy birthday with letter stickers or alpha stickers. I think, oh yes, because the paper is bleeding through. So if I am using the pens that I use to write the 45 with, I would have the same problem. The happy birthday would be visible on the other side. And I didn't want that because I knew how ugly it would look. I wasn't sure if the paper would work with stamping. And now I have the page right in front of me. I'm looking on the other side of the February stamp that you can see underneath the tag. Yeah, no, it's also bleeding through onto the other side. So bringing in color and some, what is that? How would you say that? I don't know. Bringing in some color and some tension and some interest onto the spread. There it is. Would be maybe possible with colored pencils, or with these stickers. And yes, now I remember I did struggle. I removed the happy at the top and placed the whole thing on, basically rested the birthday right above the image, the photo, and then brought the happy further down. And I think that's exactly how it's supposed to look. Yeah, I realized right when I put the B down here that the happy needed to move further down, and that was awesome. So I just added all of the stickers, went through and chose all the ones that I needed for this specific, for the word, and then I went on my merry way. No, actually, I went on and journaled. I have had these alpha stickers since, well, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years. Probably. I don't know when I posted my last scrapbooking video on my YouTube channel, but around that time, before that time, that's when I acquired all of these letter stickers, and I have not used them. I have to say that I struggled a lot, or I'm still struggling with the amount of stuff that I have. My husband has been thinking about van life, and yeah, I'm not ready for that yet. I will have to minimalize my collections, my all of that stuff that I own, downsize by a lot. It's not, I don't have like storages full of stuff, but I have enough so that it would definitely not fit into a van. And yeah, so I'm trying to use the things and make sure that when I got some use out of the things, that I decide if I feel like I need to hang on to the things, or if I have gotten enough use out of them. Maybe give some other items in my stash a chance to be used and rehome the items that I have used up. Doesn't mean that they are necessarily empty, but that I have used the maximum enjoyment out of them, and then pass them on to someone else who might give them another life. It's a long process to come to terms with downsizing, with being able to not feel guilty about not using all the things. I definitely, and also with seeing all the beautiful things online that you could get, that you are missing out, while when I say you, I mean the collective us, and especially me, because that's my struggle. It might not be yours. Maybe you can relate to parts of it, maybe you don't at all. That's totally fine. I'm just telling you about mine, and if that makes you think about your relationship to your stash or your relationship to fear of missing out, in short, FOMO, then I think that's all I wanted to achieve. Besides the fact that I would hope that you are inspired to create, do something to fill your cup and enjoy maybe 10-15 minutes with something that you love. Let's get back to that stash and that struggle. It's really hard seeing all the new things that are constantly being released, and I definitely am not immune to that, for sure, even though I have a lot of things. And I'm still looking for the right balance on the in and out, because all of these people that I see releasing things, they are small artists. They should be supported. Sometimes it's somebody else's turn to support, and sometimes I feel like if I don't support, then I'm missing out on a beautiful piece of a stamp, a art, some stationery that I feel in that moment I cannot live without. I always notice when that stationery or journaling is such a huge, big title, and then there's so many subsections that you can fall into the rabbit hole of accumulating. You could accumulate fountain pens, you can accumulate fountain pen inks, you can accumulate washi tapes, stamps, stickers, journals. Did I say fountain pens before? Oh, and then all of the arting stuff, watercolors. You could accumulate pens, pencils, there's brush pens. There's so much, and every time my focus or my interest shifts a bit, I'm like, oh, look at this. I need it all. And then finding that balance again. What do I need? What can I look at and just enjoy when somebody else uses it? That's really that's basically the struggle that I am living with. And I think I'm deciding that this spread is done. I really enjoyed creating it. I'm glad I wrote what I wanted to say about my birthday. And I'm glad you joined me for listening about all the deep stuff that I shared today. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any thoughts, please leave them in the comments below. I would love to hear them, and I promise to reply, hopefully soon. It would also help me a lot if you would like and subscribe, just so that this video gets seen by all the other people on the internet that have not heard about me yet. I hope to see you soon. Until then, bye.